Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Hello everyone. I would like to greet everyone joining the opening ceremony of the Oxford Buddha Vihara in Hungary. This is an unusual situation where we couldn't be there in person. Okay, at least myself, I couldn't be there in person. Nevertheless, this does not and will not be allowed to take away the nature of blessing that we have. The nature of blessing that we have in opening this also Buddha Vihara in Hungary. I first visited Hungary in 2006, October. So is a decade and a half ago. And today, we have got a piece of land, we have got some modest building, we have got a group of dedicated practitioners who are determined to help themselves and also helping others at the same time. And many of you have been in the practice, in meditation practice, in improving yourself for more than 15 years. Some of you more than 25 years. So let's not be distracted, okay, by other things such as the coronavirus, the COVID-19, raging the whole world, okay. Even that, don't let it distract ourselves from our mission. Our mission is to develop and deepen our understanding of the Dhamma. First, to establish peace within ourselves, peace and wisdom within ourselves. And then, to help build peace and compassion around us. We have to begin, okay, with ourselves. The way we look at the COVID-19, the way we look at the fact that we have had to postpone this opening for a year. And even now, okay, I can't be there with you in person. So we have to take a deep look at this challenge from the point of view of the Dhamma. Here, what comes to my mind is anatta. Anatta. In the second sermon, the Buddha said, the material world we live in is anatta. The feeling that we have in response to that material world, the feeling is also anatta. Our perception, our memory, the way we look at things, the way we perceive things, conventional world, that is also anatta. You know, earlier I said, the feeling that we have is in response to the material world. Actually, not only to the material world, but also to the perception. Our feeling very much depends on our perception. If we perceive somebody to be unkind to us, that perception causes some unpleasant feeling whenever we see that person. So if we change that perception from looking at that person as an unkind person to looking at that person as somebody who needs help, who is suffering inside, who is incapable of being kind to himself or herself and to others. If we look at the pain of that person that way, we change our perception. Okay, we change our perception of that person from being an unkind person, okay, inconsiderate person, to somebody who is suffering. By changing this, our feeling, Vedana, also changes. You can see I'm talking about the 5 aggregates and how they are linked together. When we look at that person as an unkind person, we're actually focusing on ourselves. It's self-centered. This person is unkind to me, unkind towards me. We look at the impact of his behavior on us, on ourselves. So it's self-centered. But when we change this, we change from self-centered outlook to the other-centered outlook. Other-centered means to focus our attention on him or on her, that she or he is suffering. So we also shift the focus from ourselves to that person. But that perception by nature is also anatta. The way our mind goes to objects, goes to visual objects, go to sound, go to the taste when we eat, go to smell. The nature of the mind, okay, grasping an object, running towards an object, being attracted to an object. In Pali we call this sankhara khanda, aggregate of sankhara. This too is anatta, the Buddha said in his second sermon. Then again, there is consciousness, being conscious of something, being conscious of sound, being conscious of a picture, being conscious of a person, being conscious of our own feeling. our anxiety. That initial consciousness, that initial awareness is another category of our experience. So in the second sermon, the Buddha talks about 5 kinds of experiences. Sometimes we call them 5 aggregates or 5 khandhas. They are all anatta. Anatta means, okay, we can't dictate it, okay, be like this, don't be like that. Within the EU, within Hungary, within, Hungary's neighbors, Austria, Germany, Czech Republic, Serbia. We can't really say, be like this, don't be like that. We can't dictate. There is no such person, there is no such powerful and almighty person who can dictate that. The world is full of problems, suffering, diseases. So when we cannot make things happen in our way, instead things happen the way they do based on the law of cause and effect. Here, we are at a crossroad. If we have mindfulness, if we have skillful reflection, we take this reality into consideration. Oh, look, this is the way things are. We are not in control of things. Not even the government is in control of things. Not everything. Because of that, we have the opportunity, we are presented with an opportunity to connect with our fellow human beings. Why? Because we are all in the same boat. No one is in total control. Look at how the COVID-19 has been impacting and affecting all countries, big or small, rich or poor. We all suffer in the same way. We don't even know, okay, where this came from. We can only postulate, imagine, theorize. But after we have agreed on the source of it, many lives will have been lost. All the economies, the world economies, every country will have suffered greatly. So by looking at the situation deeply with mindfulness, we now have the opportunity to relate to our fellow human beings, those who have lost their loved ones, those who have lost job, those who have suffered from anxiety, depression even. So we can empathize with them. This empathy is important. And is the result of our experience with this kind of big suffering. Don't let this suffering go by without developing empathy for human being and compassion. Compassion is about being practical in solving this problem. So we have to think about what we can do. At least we take care of ourselves. This is part of the solution. Trying to be hygienic. You see, I carried this with me, hand gel and mask and all those things. We need to do this not out of fear. Of course, we all have fear, but we have to replace fear with compassion, because we want to protect our family members, our community members, our fellow countrymen, our fellow citizens of the world, because we want to do something we can. So at least by taking care of ourselves, we're actually taking care of them as well. That's exactly what the Buddha said. By taking care of ourselves, we take care of other people. By taking care of others, we take care of ourselves. This is to show that we share so much. So much of our destiny is shared. Okay. We go to the same shop, we buy the same thing, we use almost the same clothes. Okay. So the price going up and down affects us all. No one can live in isolation. So anatta tells us that when we face a struggle like this, when we face a challenge like this, remember that we are not alone. This is anatta, part of anatta. The first one is that anatta, the first definition of anatta means we can't control. Things happen the way they do. We can't even control our eyes. We can't say, don't let anything disturbing get into my eyes. Only pleasant things. Don't let anything disturbing entering my ears, and let only the pleasant ones get into my ears. We can't say that. But when this happens, we are not alone, remember. This is the second definition of anatta. The first definition is that there's no one in control, in total control. The second one is that in having no control, we are all the same. We are all the same. So when we realize this is called mindfulness and wisdom. When we realize that we are connected, that we share suffering, we share challenges, we share opportunities, we share happiness. So when we understand this, we are given an opportunity to develop compassion, karuna, and to rejoice in whatever we achieve and what other people can do and achieve. Mudita, karuna and mudita, the two topics that are emphasized very often in every retreat. If we develop an attitude of karuna and mudita, with these two qualities, we actually can manage a lot better than we thought we could. in the world with the nature of anatta. Okay? The world has the nature of anatta, meaning no one is really in control. Things look chaotic, but in the chaos, okay, there is an order. How to build up that order, how to bring about that order, we can only do so with compassion, karuna. So, at the Oxford Buddha Vihara in Hungary, we should dedicate ourselves to developing mindfulness and compassion. Compassion is part of wisdom, as we have spoken many times on this. Okay, we develop compassion and try to go through the pains, ups and downs in life. Trying to go through them. If we do this, we will be contributing a lot to the peace, harmony, and development of Hungary. I'd like to emphasize once again the COVID-19 this terrifying disease and its impact. They transcend political belief. Doesn't matter what political belief you have. Okay, COVID-19 treats everybody the same. Education standard, wealth, gender, and political border. This COVID-19 doesn't recognize any of them. It treats all of them in the same way. Remember, former President Donald Trump got this virus as well. And the UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson has got that and was admitted to hospital. It's not an easy period that we go through. But, whenever we are faced with this kind of terrifying diseases, the experience always provokes compassion and wisdom in many people. So humanity always came up with a solution. We have had many pandemics in the past, and the world has always been able to overcome them. Of course, each time many lives were lost, but finally we overcame them. But only if we work together, only if we understood that we share so much pain, so much disappointment, so much setbacks. These experiences are the foundation for compassion. Compassion in the Buddhist tradition, as we have discussed many times, is part of the Noble Eightfold Path. It is considered and presented by the Buddha as a solution, as part of the solution towards suffering. So with this, I'd like to congratulate everyone from Clara, Julia, Thomas, Andre, Agnes, many people, many names. Everybody has put in a lot of hard work so that we have this day and celebrate it as the opening ceremony of the Oxford Buddha Vihara in Hungary. Very soon, okay, if the world is back to, in some way, normal, and if the travel is back to a certain extent to its normal status, may not be 100%, but maybe 50%, 60%, like that. I'm sure, okay, myself and my fellow monks will be visiting Hungary. We like to be part of the development of the Oxford Buddha Vihara in Hungary. At the moment, our devotees in Thailand, in Myanmar, they also have to lie low because there's no economic activity for more than a year, and they cannot travel, and they have to stay safe inside their home. Because of all these things, we have to be patient. As I said earlier, with compassion and with mindfulness, we'll be there with each other, learning the Dhamma, serving the community through the Dhamma. So with this, I like to recite a few stanzas to invoke blessing on the Oxford Buddha Vihara in Hungary and everyone connected with this. Mata yata niyam buddha mayusa eka buddha manurake ewang bisabha buddhesu manasam bhavaye abharimanam Mitanja sabha loka saming manasam bhavaye abharimanam Uddhang adoja diri yanja asambadang awera masapatang Dithang charang nisino vasayano yawata savikadamido Edang sading aditeya pramamhitam viharamidam mahu Ditinja nupakama silawata sanena sambanno Kamesu vineya kedang nai chadu kapaseya punariti Bhavadu sabha mangalang rakhantu sabha devata Sabha buddha nubhavena sada suti bhavantu te Bhavadu sabha mangalang rakhantu sabha devata Sabha anubhavena sada suti bhavantu te Bhavadu sabha mangalang rakhantu sabha devata Sabha sankhanubhavena sada suti bhavantu te